The American Revolution was won with 1% of the population. So what does that mean to you? That not everybody has to be the fighter. But if we all believe in that idea, that cause, that energy, just the same like we're talking about the evil shit. Like they're making us think it, they're making us watch it. Yeah. So we're giving them that energy. How's it no different than the opposite way?
It works exactly the same.
Right, if not better. Yeah. And that's why I like Star Wars, because that's Star Wars. The Jedis believe in that goodness. Like, hey man, let's just vibe, bro. And then I'll be stronger, and I'll protect us, and we'll be all good. Right. And you can be a Jedi too.
Yeah.
But
chill it with the fuck.
On the dark side, it's like, nah, get mad, like get horny, you know. He's like, fuck that bitch, steal that car. That's right. That makes you more powerful. Yeah. That's why I always love that story, because it is that duality of, it's always easier to do the bad thing.
But it's always awesome, like in that exact story, the in between about how just because like you feel like you're a very causal group or a very causal person, and then you got the opposite, like you can also lose sight of what the main goal is in between. You know what I mean? Which is what happened to the Jedi. You know what I mean? So like
for sure.
Yeah, it's man.
Because things change, bro. Like time changes, things changes. It's a roller coaster, right? Yeah. That's why that discipline is so important, or that knowing who you are and knowing your boundaries and your standards. That you gotta hold on to that through it all. Yeah. And I think that's what. Well, wisdom comes from experience as well too. So like with age, you go through shit and like that changes you. Yeah. So it's wise to get better, not bitter. That's right. And I guess a lot of people, if you're not structured from a young age, you're gonna get bitter, or you play the victim, and it turns into that play it safe. And playing it safe sometimes is fucking.
Or it's always somebody else's fault. Or the emotions start to rule you.
I mean, it's just like politics-wise, man. Like people get so passionate about like being on the left or being on the right, and like I feel like and people get so blinded like on very specific subjects that they start to forget. Like, look, at the end of the day, whatever group it is that you're like over here trying to like push, like they're not really worried about your best interest. They're worried about, what affects them. Like, the elite, the people who are involved in that whole process, the decisions that they make affect them more than it's going to affect you. So it's like, you have to be a little more open and like, it's about finding common ground, so we can become a better group of people.
Well, because we could both be LGBT, right?
Correct.
I guess, yeah. But like
support
part of that group, right?
Yeah.
But you could be like totally vegan, no killing animals, and I could be I'm a carnivore diet. So like we're so multidimensional, but yet we act so one-dimensional. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
That's right.
Because your group is some people you vibe with, like my hoop group, people we go hoop with, like we all still have different shit we do outside of hooping.
That's right.
Or the podcast crew, like there's all these groups, but we share that with each other. That's not our identity. And that's what trips me out about the LGBT. Like, is that the coolest thing about you, is your sex?
Yeah.
Like, isn't there more to you than that?
Yeah.
And I feel like, because I have gay friends, and it was never like every day is like everything's like talking about their sexuality. It's just like finding other common things y'all just y'all like.
We're just people.
You know what
I mean? Like what you're doing behind closed doors, or how much you want to.
I feel like it was another group intentionally created to
provide
cause more division.
Yes.
Because it's like I mean, there's homosexual people that are against LGBTQ, and I don't agree with some of their standards, because it's like if it's directed with intention for evil or to create division, that in itself is evil enough to create division, Yeah. So you get involved into these groups, and then it gives you something to stand for, so it makes you feel good, and it gives you a reason or a purpose. But you're not realizing that you're creating that division, bro. The division is wicked, bro. It's from the devil, man. Like, we need to eradicate that. That's what needs to go away.
100, dude. Like, one big thing for me, man, is like, look, I don't want a boy playing with my daughter, Yeah. Like I feel like that's a very simple, like
sports?
Yeah, man. It's very simple. Look, I understand that, like, your son's situation is a little different than most boys. Like if you know, like your son identifies as a girl, like, hey, look, at the end of the day, it's not my kid, it's not my life, I'm not dealing with that. But that doesn't mean that, like, I think it's appropriate for your son to be playing with my daughter and the rest of the girls, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel like all these things, like, people need to think about them more rationally, as opposed to just like, well, I need you to be okay with how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
It's an epoch. It could be an epoch for them. You know? Yeah, like, oh, for now I think I'm a boy. Or for now I think I'm a girl. You know? Right. And then later on it changes, dude. But it's like... It is a dangerous situation for in many angles, you know?
Because then you're starting to ask people to be okay with blurring lines and definitions. Correct. And when you blur a line and definition, you know, that's when you get a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he killed him, but he didn't mean to. It was on accident. You know, and then it becomes like, oh, shit,
So it was manslaughter? I mean, I wouldn't go that far either. You know?
Right.
It was an accident.
But we have to understand on definitions of things. And what a lot of these people don't understand is they want us to bend to their definition when 99% of the population doesn't understand that lifestyle. Yeah. And just because we don't understand it, or we even do understand it, that doesn't mean the 99.8% have to live by that.
Half the time.
But like with all the books and all the YouTube videos out there still, it's like, if they don't understand it now, what are you going to do? Like, make them watch? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we have to reprogram them type shit, because like all the info's out there and they're just willfully like ignorant. Like, you know, willfully like, oh no, you can say what you just said as sincere as you just said it, and they'll still say that you're a bigot, you're wrong for it. Like, and just shit on you trying to be, you know what I'm saying, vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? But like, like seeing it and even having these conversations, because like I'm hearing everything everybody's saying and stuff, and y'all had both said something that kind of comes back to it, like that nobody has like a higher purpose. Like, you know, this is just the thing, and like there is no God to them. There is no let's get more money or let's go on bigger vacation trips or whatever. Like, they don't have anything higher than just like this hill to like die on. Like, you know, because they'll ruin friendships for it, you know, and all that type of stuff. But I don't think that there is a way to, you know, reach those that are like in that mind state, because it's a frequency. Like, you know, it's just they don't intertwine, you know, like, yeah, man, because I've had so many like sincere conversations. Like, I'm hearing your tone when you're saying that, and I've had so many sincere conversations with people from like this little party affiliation, whatever it is or whatever. And like you said, I don't say that I'm just like a Trumper, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that person. But there's just no way to reach them. Like, their heart, their mind are in a whole different like area.
It's like a whole different breed.
All they heard was you disagreed. All of that, all the niceties. Yeah.
But then, I mean, it has to come from somewhere, right? Like, now, could it be pharmaceutical? You know, could it be like the shots we get as babies? Could we get like the shots we get as we grow? Or could it be negligence from their parents? Or too much freedom, you know? Was it permissive parents?
It's all of that.
I think you don't...
Because it does have to develop, bro. Because it's like, think about it, dude. Like, you could turn a mind or a human into whatever you want, really. You know?
Well, I think it's all of that, man. Like, they've ran so many... Along with the, we were talking about the mind control stuff. They ran so many psychological experiments on people. You know, what would you choose? You know, all the Pavlov stuff and all the information that they've gotten. You know, and they just know how to manipulate a human. You know, to where you could even be on our path and trying to be on the right path and still slip up every now and then by eating hot Cheetos or, you know, doing something with someone you're not supposed to, steal, whatever it might be. And you're not even that person. And you're like, well, what did I just do that for? So I think it is just a whole bombardment of different things, you know what I'm saying, that are hitting these people. And, you know, on their end too, like, you know, we were even saying earlier, they think that what they're doing is just completely right. Exactly. Like, you know,
there's no it's got to be this way.
They're the same as us. Minus that I could be wrong.
They're like, we're the revolution. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. Like, so, but yeah, man, I mean, I don't know, dude. I think it is just two frequencies that are going on right now, man. It's a spiritual battle for sure.
It is.